So there are things that are popular with foreign tourists but seem overrated to locals who are born and raised in Japan like me. So today I'm going to introduce 15 things local Japanese, feel overrated in Japan. Alright, so the first one is ninja and samurai. Well, perhaps this is because I was, born and raised in Japan, but I can't help feeling that the ninja and samurai experiences are somewhat overrated. But of course I understand that is a very unique experience for everyone. Well, to be honest, it's even unique for me, but I've never thought of trying that. Well, I don't know it's safe, but it's something like becoming a cowboy in America, wearing a cowboy hat and cosplay, something like that. I don't know what American people think, but if you are American, please let me know you want to try to be a cowboy with cosplay like that or not. If it's a bit overrated from a Japanese perspective, personally, but if everyone is enjoying it, well, that's all good though. Alright, the second one is maid cafe. It's not fair to give an opinion on this because I've never been there. But however, I don't quite understand why maid cafe are so popular even after seeing and hearing about them. But for those who don't know, maid cafes are something like distinctive like my establishment where waitress dressed in maid outfit serve customers. But don't you feel like you'd be constantly nervous and not enjoy it at all? If anyone has been there, please tell me what it was like in the comment section below. Maybe my opinion will change. Alright, so the next thing is a convenience store. But so many foreign visitors get too excited about visiting Japanese convenience stores. Well, yes, it's an interesting spot that you can't miss, but according to my perspective, it's a little too overrated. The fact that it's open 24/7 and it has all the basic items that we need in our daily life are, obviously great and convenient. But there are so many other options such as supermarket, drugstores that offer the same level or even more options with affordable prices. So if you want to travel with a budget, avoid shopping at the convenience stores every now and then and try to look for more options with better price tags. Alright, so next one is Japanese technology. Well, Japanese technology is well known for being a top quality. Well, to some extent, I agree with it, but if you imagine Japan being a high-tech country, which I feel is overrated. There will be some occasion that surprise you. For example, there are various places where you still need to carry your cash. And we are, far from being a cashless society, to be honest. The olden days style is still dominant, especially in the work environment. Well, most companies are, far from being paperless, and in some cases we are still using facsimile. We are also still heavily dependent on using hanko, which is a stamp with a name we use in place of signature or validating a paper document. Alright, so let's move on capsule hotels. Capsule hotels have become a very famous option for staying in Japan, well, especially with a budget. But its unique style, which offers only bed space and nothing else, is a fun way to enjoy your Japan trip. With the hype of tourists coming back to Japan and the trend of capsule hotels, I must say that is definitely overrated these days. But the beauty of capsule hotel option was its affordable cost. However, these days, with it becoming a trendy spot, quite a few hotels have increased its price. So then it's no longer an affordable option. Alright, next one is Japanese people. Well, Japanese people are kind and Japanese people are quiet and respect others. We hear many good stories about how foreign people were treated by the Japanese during their stay in Japan. Well, that is great, of course, as a Japanese, but it's maybe too overrated. Maybe because Japanese football supporters showcase their way of life by tidying up the stadium online after the football game. The expectations become too high. It's nice to have a good reputation as a Japanese, of course, but sometimes the expectation can be too high and you get a little disappointed by meeting the average Japanese service or Japanese people. Alright, so next one is kombebe sushi. Well, nowadays we find kombebe sushi in various parts of the world, but because of its unique serving system, it's definitely the spot many tourists visit during their Japan trip. Well, it's an interesting spot with an interesting, ordering and delivery system. But however, like reading some like blog posts or article online or YouTube videos, I see that the conveyor belt sushi is slightly overrated. Well, originally the sushi on the belt was an affordable sushi option compared to proper traditional sushi restaurant, which will require enough budget. Well, of course, conveyor belt sushi restaurants are doing their best to make it a fun experience. But in terms of quality, you need to keep in mind that this is an affordable option, unfortunately. Alright, so Japanese transportation is super convenient with the bullet trains. While their speed is remarkable and it is connected well across the major cities in Japan, it's really convenient. So many tourists from all over the world are excited to go on the Shinkansen, the bullet train. But however, it's still overrated, isn't it? Well, yes, it's maybe the most smooth running train in the world, and it's amazing how they are very punctual. Well, however, there are more options to choose from. And in some cases, other options are more affordable. So it's an experience you can only get in Japan. But when you're creating your itinerary, don't forget to look for other means of transportation too. Alright, adding one item to the Shinkansen Ekiben, the lunchbox on the train, is also overrated. Well, originally this bento box, specifically for the train, was created to serve you during the long train ride. But however, now that convenience stores like souvenir stores that also sell food and beverages and bakeries and so many options are available at the train station. So there is no need to focus on bento option, but there is some excitement when you open the bento box in the train. I understand that, but because I had so much experience with it when I was young. But it's often the case that bento boxes, especially the ekiben, are pricey compared to bento boxes at convenience stores. But of course, it's rare for a box lunch to surpass the taste of a restaurant as well. But next one is queuing up for ramen. But if you see a long queue in Japan, you probably feels like it's a good restaurant. But so many people actually queue at a ramen shop, but sometimes long queue ramen shops can be overrated. Well, I understand that some patience is necessary to taste famous shops, especially ramen restaurant. But it's interesting that some people even queue up at the chain stores. Well, I don't say chain stores are bad, but it's kind of waste of time for me to queue up, for the chain restaurant. Well, just avoid the crowd and visit during off hours when there are no hungry Japanese businessmen with limited lunch breaks. Well, if you Google things to do in Tokyo, Shibuya is one of the most mentioned spots to visit. Well, yeah, I understand that it's of course one of the centers of Japan where cultural activities are happening, and its huge crossing makes it also interesting for tourists. But to be honest, from Japanese local viewpoint, it's just a big crossing where people are just commuting and wandering around. But if you have some other places you'd like to visit in Shibuya, go for it. But if you are just visiting to see how the crossing is, you might as well drop it from your itinerary and choose something a little more interesting. Is in my opinion. Well, another place I feel overrated is Akihabara. It's also one of the places where many tourists visit. Well, what makes Akihabara unique is a mixed culture of all the high-tech gadgets and its manga and anime culture. Well, interestingly, those two different cultures blend in Akihabara, and it attracts many tourists. But however, nowadays Akihabara has changed quite a lot. It has become a trendy place, especially for tourists. While more like Akihabara is a touristy place now. So I have to say that the city is a bit overrated by many media outlets. Alright, so not just places, but if you talk about cities, I feel that Tokyo and Osaka, Japan's two major cities, are the most overrated in Japan. But of course, many of you will inevitably visit these big cities because you come to Japan by air. However, while these two big cities are great for shopping and gourmet food, I feel that other cities like Kyoto are superior as tourist destinations. Well, as I always advise foreigners, if you are staying in Tokyo for such a long time, I think it would be an amazing trip to Japan if you visit other cities as well. Alright, so Tokyo Sky Tree and Tokyo Tower are very popular, but also Overrated for me. But you will see the picture everywhere on the guide map, and it's true. You can go up the tower to have a nice view of the whole city. But you will need to queue up for a long time and see the view while being, pushed by other tourists. Well, the view will depend on the weather, of course, so although booking the ticket to avoid the queue is recommended, but chances are that you might not have a great view on the specific day, unfortunately. So rather than booking and going up the famous tower, there are various options to go up and see the view, such as Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building or basically any other, tall building in the city. That's, I guess, enough, and it's, mostly free. Ice cream topped with gold leaf. Well, you might have already seen it on Instagram. It has become very popular, mainly in Kanazawa prefecture, and the trend has expanded to various tourist spots all over the world. But it's obviously great for, your Instagram feed, but I must say it's overrated and maybe overpriced as well. But basically, it's just an ice cream, to be honest, that you need to quickly shoot to a perfect photo and eat it before it melts. So you need to be super quick, especially in the summer. The idea is good, but I doubt if I want to buy the fancy ice cream. Maybe not. Alright, so the next one is Kinkakuji Temple. Well, Kinkakuji is a temple located in Kyoto City, but known for the golden color of its building. And it is one of the most popular tourist spots in Japan. Well, of course, Kinkakuji itself is an amazing building, but somehow it feels overrated just because of its golden color. There's also a building often compared to it called Ginkakuji. Well, Ginkakuji looks modest on the outside and might only appear an old building to some tourists. But if you understand the Japanese, culture, especially wabi-sabi culture, you can understand the charm of a modest building like Kinkakuji. And I feel like it deserves more recognition if Kinkakuji has such a reputation. But from a Japanese perspective, there are times when things that are popular with you don't seem very attractive, to be honest. But of course, it's normal what you find appealing to be different. And I believe that even if Japanese like me or others don't find something attractive, I think it's still worth seeing and experiencing if you think it's good. Well, on the other hand, as I introduced in the section on Kinkakuji at the end, it's also true. There are unique ways of seeing and feeling things because of the background of being born and raised in Japan. Such as wabi-sabi culture, as I told you. By knowing these ways of thinking, you can see and feel Japan's tourist spot from a different perspective, maybe the same way we Japanese locals view and enjoy your trip to Japan even more. Well, I'm introducing 3 unique sensibilities that Japanese people have in this video. So if you are interested in Japan, take a look to learn more about Japanese culture. Well, overall, Japan is a good place to visit. Even though I say some places are overrated, you should visit if you are interested in. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.